Yes, you're on.
Thank you, Mr. Anand. And I was waiting for the day to come along with the dignitaries. I'm very pleased to be here today amongst the policymakers and with most of the individuals from the medical faculty from different departments. See, everybody has been presenting of their possibility how do we improve the medical services and access to the people. Ultimately, the goal is saying, how do we give the best to the customer who is my patient? Now, in fact, I always call as a health crisis. We've been talking of so many modern medicines, monoclonal antibodies, radiotherapies, lasers. But I have a question to everyone after 20 years of medical practice. There are still number of diseases, hundreds of them, where there are challenges still standing and we are spending $1 billion on the research as well as therapy. Neither the research has come as solution to them, neither the therapies have come solution to them. You have a list of chronic diseases like cancer. We really don't have any solutions. Do chemotherapy, cancer comes with a double speed back. Autoimmune diseases, now reference has been given. If you see autoimmune diseases, the life becomes pathetic. You do any kind of treatment to them. There are degenerative conditions, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. They are adding. We are talking of enhancing life, but nobody talks. Am I going to give a quality life to them? Nobody says that. We are adding years, but at what cost? At the cost of 4 days in the hospital, 2 days at home, and $1 billion spent from his own earnings, from the insurance and from the government. At what cost? And whose money is this? Developmental disorders of children's entire life becomes dependent. The parents, society, country, everybody pays for it. But has anybody thought, can these conditions be taken care of? And if you see the government economy, the major of the finances are spent on these kind of diseases. Then we are talking of the diseases. We are talking of the diseases where the expenses may not be that much as amount of money being spent on these chronic diseases for their hospitalization, for their maintenance, to see them survive with the pains and sufferings. Now, when I come with this understanding, I am at the point where some science is not working. We need to think out why, any reason, why it is not working. So I'm at a point, is it possible that when you get an injury, we put an ointment and body heals you? Orthopedician just puts a plate and body heals the joint, fracture. Now, any one of us can think as a scientist, as a researcher, as a doctor medical, after 20 years of practice or 12 years of training, can we not use the simple philosophies of body healing for therapies? Convert them into therapies. So I created a sentence, we carry our repairing kits in our own body. We have our own kits in our body. Every molecule of your cell is a healing you. Though I am a urologist, surgeon practice for 25 years, last 5 years I have changed my philosophy after understanding the entire strength of your body, which can heal for everything. Now, in this talk, Dr. Polishetty, the way he mentioned, is again the way you bring the balances, your body heals automatically. Most of the treatments like diabetes, we just try to treat symptoms and symptoms. Have we ever thought, could we work on those Treg cells? Could we work on those beta cells? Instead of getting insulin from the produced factories outside, why cannot my factory become functional again? Why cannot inflammation of the body come down? These are integrated procedures which could be used, like I would say rather Ayurveda becomes a wonderful part for integrated therapies with the stem cell technologies or cell-based technologies. Your cells produce 813 proteins at a given time. Mesenchymal stem cell produce 813 proteins. Inflammatory, anti-inflammatory, immunomodulatory, healing, regenerating, anti-apoptic, anti-fibrotic, and antibiotic most of all. It produces the antibiotic called LL37 which has got a power to treat any bacteria in the world. It treats with bacteria, it treats with virus, it treats with everything. Have you ever thought, could we make them as therapies? Now the next level, why I'm excited to talk to you today is that when we know we have all the cells in our body, the processes are very simple. I call them autologous minimal manipulation without handling the tissue for anything. Can we use these minimal manipulated bone marrow cells, fat cells and peripheral blood cells, which has got platelets designing almost all healing factors, to have therapies developed for all the conditions which are mentioned, including all autoimmune diseases where we are spending lakhs of rupees. So it can change the entire scenario globally. What I was looking in the forum is that, could we integrate these kind of therapies as a policy to go to the common man, so as it could help us to reduce a national burden of billions of rupees. Now I would say rather, these therapies when we integrate with the modern sciences, like if you talk telemedicine, digitalization. Now recently I spoke to Naddaji last week along with Gadkariji about bringing one technology in India as an investigational trial of Ohio State University, Dr. Singh, which has come in, that DNT technology. Can we do it in India? Why Japan should produce this product? Why US should product? Why India cannot do it, that investigational trial? It's an autologous where you don't require a lab, where you don't require a theater, you don't require anything. A chip will deliver a biological product to the skin. And the autologous cells will become your endothelial cells, neural cells, and used for therapies of his own cells. Investigational trial, probably we may get a license for this in short span of time. Last week as in Japan, the way we spoke about Japan relations, we are trying to take up a technology called as NK cells, simple technology. And NK cells in the body has a basic strength trained to them to kill cancer cells. They don't do anything else job, except bacteria, everything they kill. Can we use them? Just enhance the potentials of them. Use IL-2 activation and use to combine with chemotherapy. Your toxicity will go down. Patient can live a comfortable another 5 years, 10 years. These are the basic technology we are trying to get in India. We are working with Miltenyi Biotech to get in a genetic engineer technology of CAR T cells also. Poly sheets like cell sheets are there, very simple sheets. We have to prepare the sheet of a growing cell, autologous of the patient himself. Nothing doing outside, no manipulation.
So Dr.
These cells.
I think we need to wrap up because
I'll just 2 minutes and wrap up. 2 minutes and wrap up. I just want to give the idea, what are we lacking? We are talking of everything, but we are lacking for those things which we are spending $1 billion. The organ transplants, we are talking of GVHD till we don't have solution. We don't have solutions for the source of donors. The world is waiting. Can we not develop these sheets and just patch it with the failing organ? The organ will take up, function completely. So we are looking at the STEMRx to bring this kind of technologies and see that we could access them to the common man. Along with integrated technologies, if we do this, I think we can change the future of this country, because India needs more technology because they have a huge population and a huge requirement. And these requirements doesn't take more money, basically don't require big money. It just requires a support from the policymakers, industry, people are sitting here in industry, pharma industry, their support, researchers and academicians. If they come as together, I believe we can change the future for this country. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for giving an opportunity to present myself.
Thank you very much. And I think